Hey y'all, and welcome to Clunkers Quick Fix. This is a mini episode that we're going to be putting out every once in a while whenever we have some different projects along the way that we don't have a whole series to make, but we do think that it's important to get this information out to y'all. Might help some of y'all. Now, whenever we started Cajun Country Clunkers, the first video series that we ever did was on a 1991 Club Car DS. We had so many people comment on that series saying that they wish that they could do something like what we did with our golf cart just to have around the home. Whether it was to take their trash out, go get the mail, go feed their livestock animals, or heck, even be able to ride on the trails. Because whenever we got done with the gator cart, we sure enough have been driving it in the swamp. In those comments as well, a lot of people said that the reason that they hadn't done this before was because they either didn't have the knowledge or financially it was going to be extremely expensive to do this. Well, look no further, everybody. We're here to teach you the redneck proper way to do things. That's not going to cost you a whole lot of money, but it is still going to get you the cart that you want. Now, I'm not talking about getting this golf cart to this extent, but what is really crazy to think about is that there's actually only a year difference between these carts. So this one is a 1991 Club Car DS, and this one over here that we're going to be working on today is a 1990 Club Car DS. Now, before we started this channel, I actually knew nothing at all about a golf cart. We literally pulled this golf cart out of the woods, and it looked even in worse condition than this one does. And what I've learned is that typically, if there's a problem with a golf cart, it's just two things. There's something wrong with the battery system going on that it's got, or it's the solenoid, which pretty sure that the solenoid for this was like maybe 60 bucks on Amazon, and some new batteries aren't going to cost you that much either because there is so many options out there nowadays. Now, whenever I am searching around for a golf cart, one of the most common things that I see is people will say, oh, it doesn't have batteries. Oh, it needs batteries. So today, I'm going to show y'all a really good solution to that problem, but we first really need to assess another issue that this golf cart has going. Because whenever I do give this cart to Jim, I do want this to be able to run. I want to have it ready to go so that way he can start. I would assume he's probably going to tear this down and do some crazy color to it and show y'all some other crazy accessories that can go on this. But the state that I want to get it to today is just running. Now, it definitely needs some new tires. We'll say that. Hopefully I don't have a blowout after I get this going. And I'll show y'all the other issue that I found. Now, the people getting rid of this golf cart were practically giving it away. And I've noticed two major problems so far. First problem is no batteries. And the second problem is no keys. So, even if it had batteries on it, I'd have to have a key to be able to run it. I mean, it could have been stooped up and looked just like the gator cart, but if it doesn't have a key to run, it's just going to be a yard ornament. So I had two options. I could either change out the complete key switch, or I could try to find some keys. And luckily, Uncle Amazon came through on finding the keys. So now this is something that I 100% support on having if you're like me and you tend to misplace things, because I was able to get on Amazon and I was able to get 4 keys for this golf cart for $6.99. That is $1.75 a key, y'all. And I don't know if you're like me, but I 100% am going to probably misplace at least 2 of these, and the other 2 I'll probably put up. That way, whenever I put those keys up, I can think, okay, I'm going to set these right here. That way, in the future, whenever I lose the first 2 keys, I'll be able to find the second 2 keys. But I'm probably not even going to be able to find the second 2 keys because I hid them so well for myself. Just a common problem that happens around here. Go figure. So the first solution, like I said, was getting on Amazon and ordering some keys. I will put the link to these keys in the description and anything else that we talk about today. So for a long time, the only options of golf carts that you had was a 36 volt or a 48 volt. This is the 36 volt, but that does not mean that we cannot change it into a 48 volt. Now, the difference that you're going to have with a 36 and a 48 for the most part is obviously the 48 is going to be a little bit stronger and a little bit more long lasting. But the perks of having a 36 is actually you're going to have a little bit of cheaper batteries. You might not have as long of run time. And that's actually what we had done to the golf cart, our gator cart, the first time. Now, we had gotten some Temgot batteries off of Amazon, and they were extremely lightweight. They were the 36 volt, and they worked extremely well. We actually love those batteries. And sometimes whenever we go on a project that we're going to need a battery, we'll actually take one off of the golf cart because it's so much lighter and such an easy quick access to it pretty much. If you've ever dealt with batteries before, a lot of times they're extremely heavy, and with Temgot, we never had that option. Now, whenever I decided that I wanted to do this golf cart, I knew that it was a 36 volt, but I reached out to Temgot and they wanted to send us the 48 volt. Now, you can run a 48 volt battery in a 36. You do run the risk of, getting some hot wires, and long term, you probably need to change out pretty much everything, like the motor, the solenoid, all those things. But I do know that if it was up to Jim, he would want the 48 volt over a 36 volt. So I did opt for the 48 volt option. And if Jim doesn't like it, I guess we could put it in the Gator cart and put the 3 Temgot batteries that we have in the Gator cart in this one. But I have a sneaky suspicion that he's going to want to do something crazy to this golf cart, because he's always talked about wanting to do some wheelies in a golf cart for some reason. I know. But that's a topic for a different day. That requires a lot of helmets, and that's not what people typically want to do. Most of us just want to be able to putt around, or, go feed our livestock or drive down to the mailbox. So this battery is definitely going to be able to help us do that today. So one thing that Temgot did send with this was a super nice battery meter. So whenever we go to hook this up, we'll be able to actually look at the app on our phone and be able to see how much charge it has left. I don't know about y'all, but I hate whenever I get on our golf cart and I get halfway down the road and I can feel it. Ting, 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 ting. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I think I can the whole rest of the way home. So this is going to be a big solution to that. I'm really excited to try this out. And they also went ahead and sent a charger as well. This is going to be super nice because I can just plug it straight into an outlet and be good to go. So even though I'm not going to be changing out these wires, I'll leave that up to Jim for a project for another day. If that is something that you would like to see, y'all drop in the comments and let us know, and we'll make sure to make another video about that. But just today, we're going to get this running and get the system put in. So these club cars have these 2 aluminum pieces that goes right through the middle, and this is actually set up for like a 12 volt battery here, here, and here, just like we have on the Gator cart. Now, like I said earlier, they do offer a 36 volt option. So like this big battery that we have over here, they offer that just where you can take it and just set it right in. So you can either do that option, or you can set up the 3 12 volt batteries. Whatever works for your setup, whichever is really easier. But for us today, I can't just really pick that battery up and set it in here. We're going to start mashing some wires. We're going to have a lot of things going on in here that probably shouldn't happen. So what I did was cut a few pieces of plywood to stick in here in these gaps to start with. Along with doing this, I know that we might run into some other issues and find some other problems that this has, but we really actually can't figure out if it has any more problems until we're able to get it running. And like I said today, having the keys and the batteries, we're going to be able to start assessing what else is wrong with this, because now we have those. So like I was saying, that aluminum frame is going to cause me some issues because the battery that I currently have will not fit in there. But it's like Temgot knew that, and they sent a little ratchet strap that goes with it. So my solution was to just cut a bunch of these 1x4s and I staple them together, so that way whenever I go to set these in on top of my plywood, my battery is going to be up off of any wires that it could damage. I'm also going to be putting this all the way to the right side, so all the way underneath the passenger side as much as possible, because I don't want it hitting that wiper switch. I want to try to keep this battery away from the wires as much as possible. So if all you have at home is some scrap 1x4s, that'll work. Anything that can make the battery where it's not hitting any wires, where you're not risking any type of damage to any of your wires that you have, or risking any damage to any of the switches as well. Now, I know I said that these batteries are not very heavy, and honestly, for a 48 volt battery, if I can pack it, it's really not that bad. On this side of my battery is where I'm going to be hooking everything up to, so I am going to run that on the side closer to the wire, so closer to the driver's side, and at least it's got these really nice handles. That's not very common. Okay. Just going to check it and make sure I didn't mash anything, and looks good to me. So I've got both of my control wires. Going to go to my positive right here. And then I've got this negative that kind of completes the whole charging circuit. Yeah, that. And then I have this wire that goes on the negative as well, which runs straight to the motor. I think these are already pretty loose actually. So the Temgot battery comes with this regular washer and a lock washer on it, and I'm just going to put them both on top here. Righty. Little pro tip, I think I've actually shared this before, but if you can hold your ratchet with your left hand and it won't fall, that means that it's tightening. If it falls, that means that you're loosening. Let's get our 2 negative wires. Now, if somebody knows this, please let me know, but I don't really think that it matters which one we put first. So, and if it does, I guess, drop in the comments and let me know. I think I'm just gonna do the big one on top and the smaller one on the bottom. To me, it's like it's both going to the battery, so it seems like it shouldn't matter. I'm so tempted to push that foot pedal right now. But I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna put my seat on. And I do think I'm gonna make sure that everything's jiving before I start putting the charger on and I start putting the battery meter on, because if something else is going on with this golf cart, I would hate to go ahead and install those in here if we're just gonna have to take them right back out. Right now, all that I need to know is if there's other issues going on with this golf cart. So in theory, at this moment, it should run. Let's take a ride. Okay, actually, hang on, I did forget something. Temgot also sends you a strap. Very important, in case you're gonna go Baja. Not that I planned on driving in the rough terrain or anything. But they do send you a strap, that way your battery's not wiggling around, getting all willy-nilly on you and starts moving and crushing things. And this, we're just gonna wrap right around the frame. And go right over the top of the battery, right in the middle. There we go. Alrighty. Goes the key turn. And whoever had this before disconnected the beeping back up. I love that. Oh. I would say she's pretty good to go. Wow. Okay. She's definitely got some get up and go in her. Hopefully they have brakes. Not too bad. So right now we only have a few $100 tied up into this golf cart, and it is running, it is good to go. Now, is it one of the ugliest golf carts that I've seen in a while? Yeah, absolutely. But the point of this video was to show y'all how we can get it up and running and get this to the point that Jim's gonna be able to show y'all some really, really, really cool things that you can do to your golf cart that don't break the bank, but anybody can do them. So I'll make sure to drop that Temgot battery link in the description. Like I said, their other batteries are great as well, so y'all make sure to check them out. So y'all, thanks for hanging out during this Clunker Quick Fix, and I think Jim's gonna be really excited about the birthday gift.